Good day, friends. Thank you for joining me again. We're going to learn an important lesson in our story today. But before we get into it, I want you to grab the envelope from your craft bag that says Week 4, Adam and Eve. In the envelope, you will see a blue package that looks like this. It's a little treat that I want you to place in front of you or beside you. Don't eat it until I give you the okay. If you're not a fan of this treat, or you're not allowed to have that type of treat, feel free to have an older family member or friend grab a safe treat from the kitchen. You'll need it for our activity today. So feel free to pause the video while you do this. Are you all set? Good. Let's get into our story. So today's story is about Adam and Eve, the very first humans. So they get into some trouble. Let's see what exactly happens with them. One of the animals that God created was very tricky, the serpent. Can you find the serpent in our story? That's him there. The serpent was very clever and sly and up to no good. Did God really say you can't eat the fruit from the trees in the garden? The serpent hissed softly to Eve. No, said Eve. God said we can eat fruit from any of the trees in the garden except the tree in the middle of the garden. God said not to eat from that one, not to even touch it. The serpent smiled a sneaky little smile. Ha! God doesn't want you to eat the fruit from that tree because if you do, you'll know everything and you'll just be like God, the serpent hissed in his sly way. Eve, can you find Eve in our story? I think that's her there. Eve looked at the tree in the middle. That fruit sure looks good. So she ate some, and she gave some to Adam too. As soon as they ate the fruit, everything changed. Adam and Eve became very embarrassed and shy. They sewed some leaves together, making some pretend clothes to try to cover up their bodies. They stood nervously behind some bushes. Then they heard God walking around in the garden. God called out to them, "Yoo-hoo! Where are you?" Adam and Eve hid. "Hey, where did you go?" God called. Adam peeked out from behind the vines. Can you guys find Adam? I think that's him there. He said, "I heard you and I was afraid." "Why are you afraid?" asked God. "Well, I'm naked, for one thing," said Adam, who was quite embarrassed, "so I hid." "I see," God replied. "Who told you that you were naked?" Adam said nothing. "Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from?" asked God. "Eve gave it to me," Adam blurted out. "The serpent made me," exclaimed Eve. "He tricked me." God sighed. "I told you not to eat from that tree. Because you have done that, life will be difficult for you. You will have to leave this beautiful garden and work very hard to get things that you need. Now you will know what it is to be unhappy, and someday you will die. I made you from dust. When you die, you become dust again." God made some real clothes for Adam and Eve and sent them out into the big world, and God was with them everywhere they went. So in today's story, what fruit was Eve not allowed to eat? Do you remember? You said apple. You're right. Did she eat it? Yes. So when someone does something they're not supposed to, they're giving into temptation. That's a big word, temptation. Eve gave into temptation when she ate the apple. She committed a sin, an act against God's will. Luckily, God forgives our sins when we do something that makes him sad. The best thing that we can do is try not committing sin, or at least the same sin, or doing the same bad thing again. I don't know about you, but having these goodies in front of me really wanted me to give in to temptation. Do you still have your goodies? Good. Now you can go ahead and enjoy them. Now that we've had our treat, we're going to make a craft. For today's craft, we're going to make a Say No to Temptation checklist. Now give me just 1 sec to get all set up and I'll show you how to do this. So I want you to grab the envelope that I asked about earlier in the beginning. In the envelope, you will find a piece of paper that says Say No to Temptation checklist. You'll notice there's some lines and numbers. Also in your envelope, you will notice some pieces of paper with writing on them. So these slips of paper have advice on how to say no to temptation. So I want you to glue these strips on to your checklist in any order that you think is best. I'm going to show you mine. It's pretty colorful. You'll be able to do this after you glue on your strips of paper. So for me, my first item and way to say no to temptation is to read the Bible and attend Sunday school. Because by doing that, I learn what I need to do to say no to temptation and the things to do right. Then I pray every day, because by praying every day, I give in strength to say no to temptation. The other thing I can do is stay away from the things that we shouldn't be playing with, eating, or doing. The other thing is moving away from the things we shouldn't be playing with, eating, or doing. And I added a couple extras that you can do too, if you think of some other good advice to put in your checklist. So I put call a friend, because by doing that, they can help me to say no to temptation and a no to the things I shouldn't be doing. And then my last one is to grab a snack, because then that takes my mind off of the things that I shouldn't be doing. Of course, it has to be a snack that I can be having at that time. All right, well that is it for our lesson today in craft. Until next time, stay safe and follow God's will. Say no to temptation. Bye.